Oh, all right, all right. Now we're ready to go. Now we're ready to go. And as I said, not really much in terms of questions while I do this. So yeah, questions I will take. Afterwards. Uh, and yeah, we're gonna analyze this from Peach's point of view. Peach's point of view. Peach versus Falco. So before we even like really start watching any footage, I will point out right away that traditionally something a lot of Peaches do wrong in this matchup is staying way too much on the ground and way too little in the air. For me, the idea of this matchup is more like you float a lot, you stay above lasers, and then you stay grounded once you get like a knockdown or on close range. That's traditionally what you want to do. If you play grounded on far distance, that's playing Falco's game. Oh, actually, I'm wondering if that spot dodge was intentional. This is like kind of random, but you actually can sometimes with really good timing. If Falco do shine grab, you actually can do a super early spot dodge and down smash. Same thing when Falco do like sometimes laser and then try to poke you with like down tilt. Sometimes you can use like spot dodge and down smash as well. But chain grab, yeah, you can do that. But it's like you need to be super early. Okay. Yeah, it was a bit. I mean, those jabs, like, it would have been much better with a grab, obviously. Another thing you could have done here, if we go back a little bit again. So, yeah, gets the down smash, 2 hits, gets the knockdown. So here, either you should just prepare for, like, a grab, or maybe even, like, dash slightly in and prepare for a dash attack, regardless of where he goes. But it's. I will give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that this was maybe like reacting slow and going for the jab instead of grab. But in this scenario, when you hit those jabs, so normally what you want to do here, if you think Falco is going to fall low and try to sweet spot the ledge, you want to float down air. If you think he's going to jump up and attack right away, either what you can do is run and dash attack right away, try to get like the push hitbox. Evo 2014, Evo 2014 first game against PPMD. I'm pretty sure it was a similar scenario where I caught him jumping in this type of scenario, and I just get the push dash attack and he's dead at like 30. But if you think your dash attack is not going to make it out in time, what you can do is something like wave dash back, and then as Falco is like whiffing or missing his move, then you go in and push with a dash attack. So that's like normally the 3 things. Down air to cover like jump to ledge, or if Falco shine stalls jump to ledge, you delay the down air, but it's still a down air, right? Or dash attack super early if you think your dash attack will come out quick enough, or like wave dash back / dash back and then go back in with a dash attack. So yeah, that's normally the situations that can come up here. Grabbing ledge or jump aerial. So that's the ways you want to cover it. I wonder if that was jump up there. Oh, yeah, also a little bit off. In this type of scenario as well, sometimes when you get Falco off stage, here he was probably a little bit too far off for that, but just in general, sometimes it can be a little bit better to like float a little bit further out and do the down air, due to short and mix-ups. I've noticed this when I play against, when I play against Spaceys in like the later years, like people are getting better and better at short and mix-ups. So sometimes if you stay like here on stage with a down air, like a perfect short end will kind of like space around it. So going a little bit further out can sometimes be an advantage. Oh yeah, that Nair is like The thing is, they can mix it up like this, but it's very, very rare. Normally in this scenario, yeah, you want the down air, and then here, after you hit the down air, what you can do, you gotta be really quick though, but after you hit this down air, you can actually go off the level, float, and either do a reverse backer to send Falco outwards, or sometimes even float in behind him and do nair. Unlike Fox, you don't have to be afraid of like the startup of the up B. It can be very tricky to get it fast enough, but I highly recommend practice it. The downer and be super quick and get down. In my experience, it always like more or less works, but yeah, you gotta be really quick. So Falco doesn't get to like up B over and over, and then eventually you miss the downer or nair and get burned. That's how I would treat that situation. Here with floats, gotta be careful. This is like way too low float height. A better Falco here would have had a laser out. You would have to take it, and you would be in a bad position. Normally float heights want to be like around full hop height, where Falco can't like hit you with short up laser. Yeah, Wispy taking you down. Oh. Yeah, that was pretty good bait by the Falco player. Here, sometimes you will like want to overshoot the aerial. I know this is only one example, so maybe the Peach player is doing this a lot, you know, in the rest of the match. But it's a pretty common concept. You try to attack where the opponent is, they dash back or wave dash back, you barely whiff. And okay, he didn't get the true punish, but that should have been a true punish. Seems like you're leaving shield quite early as well. Yeah, shield grab, it's not really a good habit to get into. Like if you play against a Fox and they do like a drill, for example, especially like early drill, then it can be good to shield grab. But in general, not something you want to do too much. Like, it's like one of these habits that it's easy to get into, just because low-level players tend to, like, miss time, stuff more in general. Like, their pressure on shield is not as solid. So it's like one of these things that is, like, easy to get a habit of doing. Yeah, in general, gotta stay much more in the air. Much more, like, when you get the chance, you need to go to the air more as Peach. Like, in this type of scenario here, you can already, like, get up into the air and float. It's better than staying on the ground. I mean, it's always easy to say what you should do when you see the response of the opponent, but yeah, traditionally here, when you get a back throw at this low percent, yeah, not worth it to pull turnip. If they up B, you can just like easily hit them with nair. But for me, probably what I would have ended up doing in this scenario is, like here we can already see that the DI is pretty bad, right? So super quick downer is not absolutely necessary, but honestly, I probably would just wait a little bit, prepare for either nair or down air, depending on like the height of the side B. That's a pretty weird attempt there. I'm not quite sure what Chris was trying to go for, but that's a bit unfortunate. So in this scenario, when you pull this turnip, what I like to do is to like full hop height, throw turnip, around, like, you know, like in the area where where an up B might happen, and if they don't up B around there, then fall down and float by the ledge and prepare an air if they side B. This is a very common edge guard sequence that you can see that I've been in like a million times, and that tends to be like the flow chart. You throw a turnip pretty high and then fall down, float, and nair by the ledge. It's very important though to like have the right judgment call if you have enough time to set that up. So it's a timing for it. But here, yeah, you could have like full hop, turnip, and then go down and, you know, float around this height. A little bit lower, I would do. And then sometimes if you pull the turnip and you don't have enough time to like jump, throw the turnip, and then fall down, sometimes you just pull the turnip and go immediately and float near by the ledge. Because sometimes if they're like, oh, he pulled the turnip, I have time to side B, but then you just float and cover the ledge immediately. So it's like, yeah, important to get to learn that timing. Oh no, hey, that should have been a kill. That should have been a kill. Like, the downer is good here. The downer is good here, but here you can always react if they do this scrubby up B. This up B should have been, yeah, it should have been death for sure. If he doesn't side B or get hit by this down air, yeah, you have enough time. You could have drifted out. It looks like the nair is gonna hit, so it's probably like what ended up happening. Oh yeah, you gotta be careful like in this area next to the ledge too. Falco's ledge dash is really good. Better to use like, yeah, back off. Yeah, you also gotta be careful about these like backer and up tilt for Falco. Is like a lot of Falcos, they always throw out the backer and up tilts like super early. So the way to beat that is to make it look like you're gonna attack right away, but you don't. And then as they're whiffing, you attack. Of course, for Falco, the mix-up would be to like not attack as early and delay it, and then try to win, right? Because Peach's Fair has a lot of startup, so yeah, if you both attack at the same time, Falco is gonna win. So a lot of it comes to like, you go in right away if you think he is gonna wait. You wait if you think he is attacking right away. Jogi, thank you for the 10 months, buddy. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I gotta be careful about those backers. It's been like 3 or 4 now. Yeah. If you notice, Falco is like crouch canceling a lot against these type of aerials. Best thing is just to like fully space the aerial instead. His shine doesn't have a lot of range, so in this type of scenario you can actually like backer space it and he will whiff the shine. And sometimes you can even try to sneak something in as that is happening, but at the very least you don't get hit by the shine. Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a good poke on his feet. That was good. Yeah, this Falco player didn't capitalize enough, but like here's like one of these type of scenarios where you're like grounded and then laser like puts you in a bad spot. But the Falco didn't capitalize on it. But better Falco players, this is like what they want, like you to get stuck in these type of scenarios. Yeah, better Falco player probably would have gotten like a big punish. Yeah, those type of float heights are like generally, oops, like here. Like Falco, this is actually a very annoying spot for Falco. When you float, like you could float a little bit lower than this, but it's still the same concept. Like he can't laser. What most Falcos tend to do is either try to wait it out, but I mean, You also can move forward, obviously, and try to like corner him. And up tilt and backer, it's that mix-up war we talked about earlier, that they try to protect themselves with backer or up tilt, and then it becomes that, yeah, mind game, like the mix-up, like is he doing it early, waiting, and so on. So yeah, very hard situation for Falco to deal with. He can use side platforms and laser, and if you do that, then you want to fast fall down, so the laser doesn't like attack you. But yeah, in general, it's so good against Falcos to have this float height and then mix up your timing when you go down. Fair can like it knocks down like immediately, and it leads to like big punishes. So it's the first thing I tell Peach players in against Falco. Full hop, height, float, and work from there. Less on the ground. Be on the ground when you already have a good situation for the most part. Also, if you do find yourself on the ground, on like pretty close range, and you don't have enough time to go up in the air, and you feel like Falco is gonna approach, good Falco players, like really good Falco players, they use more lasers to approach as well. But even if they're not, like sometimes, like as they're about to approach with either laser or aerial, going in with a dash attack is really good. But you gotta do it really early. The next step for the Falco players is gonna be to like run in shield to beat your dash attack, which means your next step is to run in grab. And you kind of see how it like loops. It's always like at least one answer to any given scenario. Oh yeah, here's another time like you gotta be careful around the ledge. You gotta be careful around the ledge. Like, you don't really respect this area. Like, this also could have been like a ledge dash up tilt easily. And yeah, this time, yeah, you paid a stock for it. Oh yeah, the up tilt. Such a good move for Falco. Oh yeah, this one looks faster than it is. If Falco do shine, waveland down shine, you actually can use shield grab that. In general, shield grabs, I mean, you can do it sometimes, right? But a lot of people tend to overuse it a lot. But that shine, waveland down shine, you have a massive window to grab. It's honestly very easy. Most people would land it on their first try. That's like how big of a window it is to grab. So if you notice that you're like on a platform and you know they are like in front of your shield, you can always shield grab that, assuming you don't like hold a projectile or whatever. It is ways for Falco to play around it, obviously, but it's like one of these things that people get away with way too much. I wouldn't really recommend taking the ledge often at all as Peach in this scenario, because Peach's double jump is so bad. If you take the ledge here, and they didn't go for the ledge immediately, you're like, it's no way you can cover this like nicely any longer. Like jumping from ledge, like tournament winner from ledge is probably like your quickest way realistically, and it's not going to be good. So I would almost never ever do that ledge grab. If I think they're going to maybe go quickly to ledge, possibly I would rather do down air. If they do it, I still have a really good scenario and I probably can convert it into a kill. If they do anything else, like an up B for example, I'm still on stage and I still have like, you know, options to potentially kill them. I guess that was, yeah, I guess that was a misclick. But yeah, that flow tide again, like the few times you have used this flow tide, it's been hard for the Falco. Like his lasers doesn't work, but as we said earlier, remember the timing to like mix it up. Ooh. Yeah, this Falco is using so many jabs. I like the fact that you CC the jabs. You can CC them for so long. Nice. That's good. Alright, so that was the Falco game. That was the Falco game. So now let's move on to Peach Falcon. In this matchup, it's quite the opposite. Here, you do not want to be in the air too much. Falcon's up air is so good. This matchup is much more staying grounded. And if you go to the air, it's like go up and like quickly fall down with like an air or something. But traditionally, yeah, in this matchup, you don't want to stay in the air much. Yeah, like a lot of people use slide off these days, so sometimes it can be like good. Like they always tech roll. They always tech roll when they want to do slide offs, even though it's actually not entirely necessary. So some stuff that can be good in these type of scenarios is double jump land on platform and down smash, and maybe you even like get a lot of damage for this. Another thing that can be good is to like try to delay your up air so their slide off doesn't work, and then punish them from that. Double jump land grab can sometimes be good as well, so keep that in mind too. Turnips in general, you don't want to use much. You mainly want to use them more as like an edge guard tool rather than a neutral. Falcon is honestly very good at like getting through it, and a lot of your best tools in the matchup are just like not available if you hold a turnip. Like you can dash attack, for example, which is really good. Oh yeah, I was a bit slow on the up throw follow up. Yeah, I gotta be quicker there. That should be it, yeah. Yeah, like in a lot of scenarios where Falcon approach, maybe like a little bit higher damage, but dash attack is like, for me, I was using it a lot when I predicted them that, oh, they're gonna attack now, and then counter attack with dash attack. Oh, that was a good jump read. Didn't quite capitalize on it. Overall, I feel like you're like playing alone against computers can actually like be very good. But just like a level 1, get your movement more, you know, crispy, more clean. It helps so much in this game, and playing just like messing around against a level 1 can actually be very beneficial. Kind of like for me with Peach, I normally played against like Fox and just like doing the same type of combos and just like, so it's very consistent. I know some people say like, oh, what about DIs and stuff? But the thing is like, honestly, a lot of these type of combos, once, if the opponent don't escape the first part where they could have DI'd out, you actually can react to like so many DIs in so many scenarios. And even against the level 1, most people can't like consistently get it to work. So, I mean, it's still very good practice that is like underutilized. Oh, read the roll there. Let's go. Yeah, I feel like this scenario, Falcon should have been dead here. He should have been dead. Like here, you should stay in this like this area here. And it, like if you stay around here, maybe very, very slightly more back, he can't go above you. And if he tries to go to ledge, you can also like just fall down there. But you keep like going down a lot, and now Falcon is like in a position where you can't cover him any longer. Not in a good way. You could have backered him back on if you reacted quicker, but I mean, that would not have been bad for him. And be careful with down smash on platform. I mean, it is a high reward, but it's another one of these like habits that people do it so much just because it's a high reward. And it's easy to like get into the habit of doing it too much against players that don't really adapt. I like that you're doing the uppers to catch jumps though. Ooh. I feel like immediately when you get like, I feel like sometimes you should like wait on stage more. Wait on stage more, let them do the first move, and then act for edge guard. Here, what you should be doing is Falcons. When you pull this turnip, you can try to put yourself in a position so you always cover the down B from Falcon. It's honestly not a very tricky timing, and if he does the down B, you can become like 100% consistent at landing that timing because he's stuck in lag for so long when he does the down B. That's something you can see me do against Falcon a lot too. Here he could have like jumped and then do it. And the thing is, even if you wouldn't land it, you still would be like close to the stage and have the advantage. That was more like it. You mistimed it slightly, but yeah, the right idea. So yeah, make sure to practice those against Falcon. It can become like 100% consistent, more or less. Oh yeah, that's the always roll on platforms. People want to slide off, but there you wave landed. There you wave landed. It can be better to double jump land. So when you have like this height roughly, like jump again, and you will immediately land, which is much quicker than doing a wave land. HDMI, thanks for the 3 months, buddy. Yeah, the upper was the wrong choice. You probably noticed it as you were doing it. Here, in this scenario, it would have been better to either do a reverse weak backer into Nair, or hopefully, sometimes if you do weak moves, people DI fully out, but that means that the strong move is going to be even better. So it's like a bit of a mix-up war as well. If you want to keep it entirely safe, you just do a Nair here. And if you want to like potentially maximize the damage and, you know, put them in an even worse position, you do a weak backer into Nair here. But yeah, upper was, yeah. Now the situation is like over. So yeah, one of the two. Nair, more consistent, easier, and worst case scenario, there's still quite a bit off stage, but sometimes it can be nice to mix up with a weak reverse backer into Nair. All right, so against Fox. Yeah, against these type of downers, when you're already in the air, normally I just try to like get a grab here or down smash. Jab doesn't give you anything. Yeah. Here, you gotta make sure to cover the ledge quickly. Like in this type of scenario, main priority is making sure they can't grab ledge. Because side B, you want to cover more often in these scenarios because it's the quicker option. And even if they don't do it, you still have time to, you know, potentially follow up on the up B. And yeah, backer, yeah, that's never gonna hit. It's never gonna, or it should never hit. So it's better to, yeah, prepare for a downer there. Yo, Triff, thank you for the raid, buddy. Hope you had a good one. Here, by floating here, like, if you do end up floating here, never ever use the double jump here. It's so slow. If you're floating here, some people will take that as like a sign that, oh, I can go high because Peach's double jump is so slow. So if you ever find yourself in this scenario, either if you really think they're gonna go low, you can cover like with an aerial here, right? But otherwise, yeah, if you believe they're gonna go high, you just fall down on the ground and then work from there, because this double jump is like, yeah, it's gonna be so slow. Like this type of scenario, I kind of like would compare it to a Sheik doing like charging needles, and they have a spacey off here as well. A lot of like spaceys will be like, oh, I can't go to ledge. They do needles, and you just cancel the needle and cover high. It's a little bit the same. It's a little bit the same concept here. A lot of people are like, oh, Peach is floating, I can go high because double jump is so slow. Yeah, see, there's the shorten thing as well that we talked about. You go like a little bit out, but not quite enough. A lot of spaces are doing these shortens, so it's like even better to go like extra out. Like you're still like, you know, on stage technically here. Or, I mean, I guess you're slightly off, but like your feet are still on the stage. So if you go like very slightly further out, that can often be good to cover shortens, whether you do it with like down air or nair. It seems like your reaction tech chases need quite a bit of work. Yeah, you can practice reaction tech chase stuff with like Uncle Punch. That's something I highly would recommend. Fox's side B is also a move you can react on. It's honestly not that fast. It might look quick at first glance, but Falco's is way harder to react to. Fox's up smash and shield, pretty big window to punish. It's still like a little bit tricky, but you can wave dash down smash out of shield, for example. On low percentage Fox with up smash on shield, a lot of Peaches do float in air, but that only opens up for another CC scenario. So sometimes it's good to like use wave dash and down smash. And at high damage, then it's better to nair traditionally. You just gotta be ready for a potential OMS attack, and then make sure to cover that if they do that. If you can, of course. But wave dash grab is fine too. If you think they're gonna OMS attack and you don't have enough time to cover it. Yeah, dude, you attack next to the ledge way too much. This player is not good enough to make you respect ledge dashes, but honestly, I would expect that this is what you do against most people. Like, yeah, you try to cover like pretty scrubby and bad options from the ledge a lot. And yeah, against better players, it's gonna cost you so much. Don't really see too much in terms of dash attacks. Like, Foxes do like to approach with short up nair or running shines, and dash attack is so good if you predict either. And here's another scenario where like, yeah, downer is traditionally the much better choice, but I feel like this player gets away with too many like, you know, recoveries to ledge. This is another thing that can be good to be careful about. You get a hit, like a lot of the times when you get hit, you immediately nair. And sometimes the nair always will connect, but sometimes they can get the shield up in time. So just keep in mind that sometimes it might be better to just fall down and grab, because a lot of people will use shield in the scenario where it's like, oh, he can nair here, so I use shield. So sometimes it can just be better to like fall down and grab them. Could turn it. No, grab ledge. Okay, it still worked, but in this scenario, it's no reason to risk it. As soon as you hit this turnip, as soon as you threw this turnip, you should know that it's about to hit, and then you can up B and grab ledge. There's no reason to like keep floating. If he only can reach ledge, just make sure to get. If you know you can get the ledge before him, then yeah, you just take the ledge. No reason to like risk getting a phantom hit, risk getting a weak hit, and you know, give Fox another chance to survive. Yeah, here's another scenario where he could have used side B to ledge. He could have side B to ledge again, and then ledge dash, and you would have been in a bad scenario. Oh. Ooh, that was dangerous. That was dangerous. If he caught you with a shine there, that would have been over. Because yeah, you double jumped, a shine there, and that's game over. So always be careful with using your double jump this close to the edge against Fox. Especially if you're planning to use fair, because that's a very slow move. You can start doing the fair and have it like out the startup for quite a bit, and Fox can still like jump shine and get it out and win the sequence. So that's a very dangerous scenario. Alright, so Peach Marth. In case you haven't seen Chris, this guide is like 5.5 years old by me, but I made a Peach Marth guide. So I'll recommend reading that one as well, on top of like, you know, this, of course. But that guide just have like a lot of good advice as well. So yeah, Peach Marth. Let me get back to that later, Triff, after this set review. Yeah, this matchup, a lot of people overuse, like underuse, I should say, turnips. Turnips is so good in this matchup. Okay, that's unfortunate. Like that could have been much more damage here. Not sure what happened. Be careful with up E. Like the reward is so low. The reward is so low, and the risk is like so much higher. Yeah, that's another time you don't respect people at the ledge. Marth goes to ledge, and he can just hit you for free. Oh. Against Marth's forward throw, you want to DI diagonally down in a way. So he can't like dash attack you. Or even worse sometimes, getting like pivot F smash. Yep, another time not respecting the ledge and now dying for it. It's very important as well in Smash to like not get like reversaled or like getting your advantage into a disadvantage. So you have like clear advantage here, right? You have center stage, you have like everything you could wish for. And now you see Marth going above, and now, okay, he actually played it very badly, the Marth, but in this scenario, like, at the very least, he should have not nearly as bad of a position. So you gotta be careful with like, when you have people off stage and you have like the state advantage to like not overcommit and let them like get above and sneak around you. Oh no, no, that should have been kill. That should have been kill. I'm not sure, are you Chris? So I've noticed like a lot of like people, when they play Smash, they don't look at their opponent's character necessarily. And I would heavily recommend looking at your opponent's character and your own character with your peripheral vision. A lot of people mainly focus on their own character, so when stuff that has like a huge window to punish, they're not as ready because they're looking so much on their own character that they kind of like miss a lot of information with their opponent's character. Most good players watch at their opponent's character, and then I've heard a few people like PPMD and a few others kind of look at the space in between the two characters. I personally don't do that, but I can see that being like valuable too. But if you focus too much on your own character, it's very easy to like miss these like easy punishes, kind of like that up B. It's a very important concept in teams too, because it's 4 people, so it's even more important. That's why you see so many people in teams get hit by stuff absolutely randomly that they had like seconds to react to. Ah, okay. It was a solid opening, but yeah, I like the turnip in the air, but yeah, down smash didn't quite work out. No. Yeah, another scenario at the ledge. Not really respecting too much, and Marth got around, and now he has advantage. In these type of scenarios, like here, like Marth doesn't have any jump left. Very common that they fall down with an aerial. So normally what you want to do is to jump aerial just as he has like landing lag. Pretty precise timing, but normally what you want to do. Yeah, you do way too many like float out aerials that don't really seem to serve any purpose. And the Marth player gets to go above you every single time. Yeah, every single time he gets to go above you. And he should do much more with it, but... Yes, Chris, yes. Yeah. Look at the opponent's character, even in like large pressure situations. Oh, yeah, that's another one of these like just float very far out, and none of them have really given you anything so far. Ooh. On this stage, I would say going to Randall can like often be good. Pull a turnip there. Ooh. No. Another time at ledge, not respecting. Ooh. Also, when you're off the level, I feel like you very often just attack right away. You rarely wait or like try to bait. It's pretty much always like go in right away. And it becomes very predictable for the opponent. Like you're off the level, always go like back in. If you're off stage, always attack right away. It's very important. Like we went over it in the Falco game, especially too, with like Falco doing the backers. and the Falco often like landed backer because you attacked right away every single time. So the thing is, like, some people like they think about mix-ups as like, oh, I do this move in this scenario, but a lot of people don't think about the step of using the same move but with a different timing is also like a mix-up. You literally use the same move, but the timing changes a lot. So it becomes like a new mix-up. Yeah, see? Here's another one of these floats. And Marth can just jump above you every time. It's like the Marth player does like the jump, which shouldn't be good, but it works good against you, since you're not capitalizing on it, but then the Marth player is not doing enough. So maybe that's why you have a harder time to adapt to it, because you don't actually get like really punished for it. Down throw dash attack works pretty long against Marth. Yeah, that dash attack would have worked as well. I don't remember exactly the percentage, and I know it's controller port dependent too, how long it works, but down throw dash attack can be, yeah, good. Alright, so final game. Peach against Sheik. Whoop, ah. Yeah, it should have been like... Yeah, probably like, yeah, float nair. Also, like when you do float nair at these type of percentages, honestly, like this translates to most scenarios. But if you have time, normally when you do nair and stuff, let's say you did nair here on this distance, you already have like this wide of a gap between the two characters, right? But if you're floating nair and you're like here instead, you're still gonna send Sheik forward, but you're gonna be like closer to Sheik, and that often can potentially lead to bigger punishes. That's like something I like with Melee's punish game, is that how you position yourself during the hits can often lead to like extra hits in the combo. Yeah. I mean, this nair, like, yeah, I feel like the only thing, like, if he rolled to the left, maybe you would have gotten him. You probably would have gotten him sent off stage. But yeah, this nair, yeah, pretty much only sent him back in now and didn't really give you anything. So I feel like it's a huge area of improvement that can be made here in terms of like movement and punish game, like just alone. Of course, combined with all the decisions we have gone over so far. But yeah, I really think like the level 1 computer practice and just like work on like punishes to get them more like consistent and like clean can be very, very valuable. Oh yeah, gotta be careful with crouch cancel against needles. The thing is also like in these type of scenarios, you're already crouching here, here, here. It like for a lot of people, okay, if we put it this way, if you're crouching for a very, very long time until a pretty high level, normally when that happens, that means you're gonna keep crouching. It can be like an extra layer of mind games to do something very early to kind of bait your opponent into like, oh, I'm gonna keep crouching, and then like, you know, mix it up, right? But traditionally, if people start crouching for a long time, they're just gonna keep crouching. And by doing it very early, you're pretty much telling your opponent that I'm gonna keep doing this. So if you do want to do something like crouch, you normally want to do it like just at the last moment, so you still get the reward if they do the wrong thing. Instead of doing it for like 2 seconds and pretty much like, this is what I'm looking for. You make it easier for your opponent to play around it. But as I said, doing it very early to make it look like you're gonna do it and then do something else, that can work as a mind game. But a lot of people, like, if they do something, that's the one thing they will go for. But then really good players, then they might be like, oh, I'm going for this, but then mix it up. Yeah, here's another time off the level. Like, you get off the level, immediately attack. Immediately attack. You get it this time, but good player will really destroy this. She can easily F-tilt here and put you in a very bad position. Fox can jump shine and you're just gonna like die. Against Fox, for example, he's like floating like around this height, like maybe around here, and do like a preemptive nair. And if they jump shine, they're just gonna jump into the nair. That's something I do. But the mix-up for Fox can just be like to wait it out and then like try to punish after. If Peach wants to be really safe in that scenario, she can do nair and retreat, and Fox can't get the shine. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Here, like a good Sheik could have F-tilted, so the mix-up becomes like wait it out and then go in, of course. But yeah. That's why it's like important as well. Some people might be like, oh, but I get away with this fair. I get away with this. But that's like I think like one of the issues. Some people are like, I can't improve in my region because people are not good enough. The thing is like, it's very important to try to imagine what could my opponent have done here. Like, yes, I got away with this fair, but what could my opponent have done to beat my thing? So that fair we just went over, she could have F-tilted. That could have happened. And then it's important to know that if Sheik did that F-tilt, what could I have done? Oh, wait it out and then attack. What could Sheik have done if you waited it out? Oh, she could like jump out and fair right away, for example. So it's very important to like try to understand these layers. And I think one of the bigger reasons people have a hard time to improve is that they are not really thinking about what could have happened. And that means that their mix-up game becomes worse because against like a low level player, maybe you get to play like, you know, in one specific scenario, they might only have one mix-up that they know about. So that's what they always do. So you don't get to like prepare for like different mix-ups. And that's why it's important to like try to understand these mix-ups yourself. And I mean, even better could be that you tell about these mix-ups and advise people in your region like, oh, like against this, you can use this. I know some people are not really like, how do you say, they might want advice, but then they're going to be like, oh, I always do that. I know some people are like that, but people that are truly willing to learn and put the ego aside, it can actually be like huge to help them improve because that helps you improve too. It seems like you go for these preemptive dash attacks a lot. I've noticed it like in other games too. I wasn't sure if it was like too much of a habit. But here it's like a lot of times you go for a preemptive dash attack on taking place. Good players here rarely will take in place or roll in. The reason why is because here in this scenario, if Sheik tech rolls away, it's literally nothing you can do to follow up. And a good player should know this, that Peach is too slow to cover here, so you roll away. And once in a while, you might tech in place or tech roll in as a mix-up because, oh, a tall player is not going to be that stupid. But 99% of the time, they're going to roll away here because you can get no follow-up. This is one of the flaws in Peach Punish game, is that knockdown fair, like even at 0, sometimes if you land a fair, and they can like, assuming that the ledge does not interrupt the tech roll, if you fair like here, sending Sheik here, and she tech roll away, even at 0, often you can't even follow up. Which is part of the flaw with Peach Punish game with both dash attack and fair, is that proper DI, tech roll away, assuming the stage don't interrupt, means no punish for Peach. Like a bad player or a very like not experienced player against Peach might do tech in place and tech roll a lot, tech roll in a lot, because they don't understand that rolling away here means Peach gets no punish. So normally what you want to do against these players is to just take more stage and get more of like stage positioning, because this dash attack for tech in place or cover roll in is practically never against a good player actually gonna give you anything. So it's better to just accept the fact I get no true punish, but I'm gonna like be more in position to like make, you know, it harder for them to get out of the corner. I mean, putting your ego aside is like, it's a problem for a lot of people in any area. It's hard for people to accept that I'm doing this bad, I could be doing this better. A lot of people like take it too much to heart. But it's like one of the things that separate really good players in whatever area with, you know, not so good players. You can often hear like top players be like, "Oh, this was so bad," and then a lot of people will be like, "No, that was amazing. How could he say this was bad? He got fifth at this tournament. He was playing so good." But it's because these players, they see what they can do better. It's like, of course, if you compare it to the entire world, getting like fifth at a big tournament is like big, right? But the question is not like how good is it compared to everyone else right now. It's how good can it be, and that's a huge thing. And for a lot of people, that's like, you know, part of their improvement ratio, seeing like what they can do better and then try to apply it, not settle for like, you know, decent stuff. Yeah, that was very bad, the eye. That was very bad, the eye. She can always follow up there, so no reason to like pray that they're gonna miss. They really shouldn't. A lot of it like weird. Oh yeah, you gotta be careful about that. That up smash actually kills so early. Ooh. Oh no, that could have been so good. Yeah, I was a bit late on the nair. Alright, so this scenario, something that was like a little bit wrong too. If you're actually gonna go for an aerial here, you gotta go for it very early and hope he doesn't get up attack in time. Or if you believe he's gonna like get up attack, another thing that can be good is either stay outside of the range and then try to go in, or even better, in my suggestion would be to just drop down from the float and then like jump and punish. Assuming you believe that that's what he would do. Okay, this could also be improved upon. So in this scenario here, as soon as this up B happens, he has no way of like getting away from this like easily. Yeah, this should like a lot of lag from Sheik. There was no reason to stress this and get like a smaller punish. In that scenario, you want to get like a bigger punish and just try to send Sheik off the level again. SK Man, thank you for 19 months. In this scenario, so the nair is good. This nair is good, but you gotta be careful about Amsa tech since people are getting better at it. So in this scenario, as soon as you do the nair, assume that Sheik is gonna Amsa tech, you know, here, since you're getting a reverse nair, right? So you gotta assume that they're gonna do an Amsa tech, and if they do, then you're ready to hit them again with like a nair, backer, whatever. And if they don't, well, they're so far off stage, possibly dead, but at the very least far off stage, and you get an edge guard sequence. By pulling this turnip, if he went for an Amsa attack, he would have survived, and, you know, that would have been bad. And the thing is, some people might say here, oh, but he didn't Amsa attack. But the thing is, like, at some point you will run into a player that does it, and that turnip will be all for nothing. That was good. That was good. Yeah, I gotta be careful with like turnip pull there. Like here, it's like no reason to pull a turnip here. No reason to pull a turnip here. Now you put yourself like in lag, a bad spot, and the Sheik got to go in for free. And okay, well you waited a bit there. That's good. Oh. Yeah, you're a little bit slow on like the timings for some stuff. Like the jump up air here, you could have been a bit faster. You could have been a bit faster. So yeah. I mean, I feel like there's like a lot of stuff we went over. I know it's 5 different matchups, so it's probably a lot of information to take in. But I hope this set review helped you, Chris. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.